Oh, hey there. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Hope you're having a nice weekend. It was really nice seeing you on Friday. I hope that you enjoyed meeting Amishi Jha and learning a little bit more about the science of mindfulness. I'm looking forward to seeing you next Friday, and I wanted to give you a little view of what's to come over the week so that you might be able to space things out in a way that's comfortable, as is often the case with our class. There's lots of little things to keep track of that really, when you add them up, don't take that much time, but the organizing and the planning can be the more challenging part. And of course, that's what it is that this exploration of mindfulness, being aware, being present, and being able to size things up and plan things out is very much all about. So, because this week is not unlike any other, except I know that you all have a lot of moving parts and a lot of things going on. I thought this would be helpful. All of this information is on the class webpage. You'll receive an email from me or Samantha that has the class handout for the week, and you can also go online and get it and download it from the webpage itself. All right, couple of things. First, readings. There's not a lot of readings for this week, but two of them will be familiar to you. One is by Patton Hyman, a very important article that we touched on a little bit, so I wanted to zero in on it a little bit more in class, and an article by Paul Singerman, The Return and Investment on the Study and Practice of Mindfulness. Read those again. Hopefully you'll reinforce some of the things that you first read and picked up, or if you didn't read it with a lot of focus and concentration the first time, it'll give you a chance to really get that information, especially now that we're further along in the class. Paul will be visiting us this week, which is why it is that there's also a writing of his from an interview in GP Solo magazine on mindful listening. I think that you'll enjoy that, and because Paul also cares very much about gratitude and talks about the importance of gratitude to the practice of law, living a meaningful, happy life, you will also have a short reading on gratitude. Now, related to those things are some of the assignments for the week. The main assignment from a writing perspective is to put together your overview. Now, you're all free to begin writing, so nothing stops you all. We're all at different stages in the outline and the introduction and now the overview process. This will be the last formal writing assignment to turn in of a page or two in length so that you can get some feedback on it. So I want you to focus on that because it's important. At the same time, I want you to be able to know, I want you to know that you can begin working on the paper itself using your own good judgment. Now, in terms of practice, Paul Singerman will talk to you all about mindful listening. You may remember the do not disturb practice that we talked about before, where you go a day, where you have the intention to not interrupt, rather do not interrupt, which would be similar to do not disturb, I guess. And so this week, at least one day, please practice or intend to practice do not interrupt. You can read more about that in the GP Solo magazine, and it probably rings a bell. Remember, the key is this: it is not about not interrupting. That is the least important thing about the practice. That's sort of setting it up so that you can then pay attention to what's taking place when you put yourself in that environment. And you might think of that as going to the balcony. You might think of that as noticing the spiral. All these metaphors that we've been exploring are almost always applicable, depending on how you want to look at it. All right. In addition, there's two other things, and I strongly encourage you, as soon as you can after watching this, to print out these 2 pages from the handout. One is a diagram of the spiral, and it tells you the event, the thought, the feelings, the sensations, the overreactions. What are your observations? It's inviting you to take an experience that you have this week, just one, though I encourage you to do this more formally or informally, and to write down what happened and what thoughts, feelings, sensations, overreactions, etc. took place. That's something to do at least once this week. You'll be turning it in on Thursday. So if you have it on your refrigerator, if you have it on your desk, if it's out now, when something happens that seems like a good thing to practice with, you can do so, and it will take all of a few minutes to actually write it down. The other is a wanting to gratitude practice. And this is where we take something that happens during the day where we want something to be different than it is and what we're grateful for. And you have the opportunity to do this maybe 4 or 5 times over the course of the week, at least 3 times. When you find yourself in that wanting state, write it down and then pivot to gratitude. So for example, I want you all to print this thing out so that you can have the opportunity to write this down and have this experience. And I want you to do this now so that you don't wait till Thursday and then have to sort of scramble to come up with something. But I'm so grateful that we have this opportunity to explore this thing called mindfulness together. And those are both at play at the same time. Alrighty. In addition, the practice itself, every day, see if you can once a day, regardless of what's on your roadmap, practice, even if it's for 1 minute. So you'll continue to fill out your roadmap each week, modify it based on what you learned along the way. The idea is by the end of the semester, you have a roadmap that's sort of tried and true, that you can maybe see as your schedule for practice, formal and informal. But you might have it where you say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Remember, Dr. Jha, she said 3 times a week. That's the research that we've done. But every day a week is my practical suggestion. But it doesn't have to be long. So if for some reason you've got on your roadmap Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, terrific, whatever that might be. How about Tuesday for 1 minute, Thursday for 1 minute? Fill it in and find the time to be able to sit, take a few breaths, bring awareness to the sensations of the breath. Before you know it, that minute has passed or longer. You never know, you might find that you want to sit a little longer. And see if you can have, especially if you can do it at the same time during the day. Very helpful, not necessary, very helpful, your practice. All right, also we're going to be doing partner pair practices again as part of our assignment. And so you might still be doing that. Some of you are. Many of you aren't because we haven't had that as an ongoing requirement. So if you would like a new partner, let us know, because it's just challenging to have coordinated with them or whatever the case may be. If you want to keep your partner, because that's working really well, let us know. On Friday, we'll talk about the new partner pair practices. And I encourage you this week to reach out to your partner and to practice together. Alrighty, let me think. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Who am I kidding? Finally, there'll be some videos that are up on the class website. These are, I think, will be useful and humorous and memorable, and will really help us zero in even more clearly on fundamental aspect of what it is to investigate our interior experience as something that's I call going granular. So please watch these videos, and just to help making it easier for you to access and remember them while they're on the website on perhaps Monday or Tuesday and Wednesday or Thursday, you'll get an email that also includes a link to those videos as a reminder to watch them. All right. I can't wait to see you all on Friday. I hope you all have a really good week, and I wish you all the best.